children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So today from our science subject we are going to learn about plants, more about plants, that is part 4. Okay children? Yes. So already like whatever we have learnt in our previous sessions, we'll just have a recapitulation of that. Okay? So just go along with me. The natural process by which plants adjust to their surroundings is called adaptation. Plants which grow in water are called aquatic plants. Again we said there are 3 types of aquatic plants here. What are they children? Floating, fixed and underwater plants. Okay. Some plants like water hyacinth and duckweed float on water. Some plants like lotus and water lily have roots that fix the plant in the mud at the bottom of the pond. Some plants like hydrilla and tape grass grow under water. So this what we have learnt in our previous class children. So we learn something more about plants. So types of plants. So non-green plants. Non-green plants, until now whatever we learned were green plants. Were green plants. Green plants in the sense the leaves of the tree or plant were green. So that's why we call them as green plants. Now we are talking about non-green plants. Some plants do not make their own food. Some plants do not make their own food, whereas green plants make their own food. Here some plants, as you see in the picture here children, so we are having some plant here. I hope you guessed what is this plant is. Yes, it is mushroom. No, such type of plants like mushroom and toadstool do not have chlorophyll. So why these are not in green color? Why? Because they don't have chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll children? Do you remember? Yes, it is a green pigment. Because of that the leaf is in green color, and chlorophyll also helps the plant to make its own food. That is, it helps for the process of photosynthesis. Okay. But here, as these plants do not have, like mushroom and toadstool, they do not have chlorophyll, they are not green in color and they cannot make their own food. Okay. And what is their food? They absorb food from dead remains of living things like wood and litter. So what is their food children? So like the dead remains of living things. Like suppose if you see like insects which are dead. Okay. And like wood like wood also, if it is going to turn old, we see some insects coming out of the wood. If it is spoiled and it is very much old and it is like thrown as a waste, so that type of wood. And litter, all the garbage places, like we throw all the waste, bottles, papers, whatever the waste. So from that waste they get the food. These non-green plants, they get the food from that waste. Clear children? As these non-green plants do not have chlorophyll, they are not green in color, and the thing is they cannot make their own food, and they absorb food from the dead remains of living things, that is insects and all creatures. And like wood and litter also, like all the garbage, wood, all leftover things. From that parts they take the food. Clear children? Yes. Now other type of plants. What are they? Epiphytes. Epiphytes. So some plants like mosses, ferns and many orchids grow on other plants. This allows them to reach positions where they can have better access to sunlight. So here epiphytes, what are they? These plants are like mosses, ferns, and many orchids. Where do they grow? They grow on other plants. They grow on other plants. If you see children, if you see big trees or somewhere on the walls, we can see again some plants growing on that, on the same plant, another plant. It is not of the same type, so we can see some more type of plants growing on the plant. That plants are called like mosses, ferns, and many other orchids. No, they grow on other plants. This allow them to reach positions where they can have better access to sunlight. So what happens is, when they grow on the other trees or plants, they absorb the sunlight. They absorb the sunlight, and that sunlight gives them the energy. Okay, so these, like this, they get their food. Okay, they are not going to grow on the soil or above the soil. They grow on other plants, and by this they absorb the sunlight and make their food. Clear children? You can see in the picture here. Okay, orchid plants. These are indoor orchid plants. Okay, these plants are known as epiphytes. These plants are known as epiphytes. Clear children? Yes. So again the other type of plants. What are epiphytes? Once again, which grow on other plants. Now, insectivorous plants. So we have already learnt about this. What are insectivorous plants, children? Some plants like Venus flytrap and pitcher plant catch insects in special traps made from their modified leaves. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. They trap and digest the insects. When an insect sits on the pitcher of the plant, the lid closes and the insects get trapped inside the pitcher. Okay, so this is the diagram of the pitcher actually. This one, and this is the pitcher, and this one is Venus flytrap. No, so as it is there in the name, so these plants are going to catch. First they'll trap the insect. Their food is like insects. They'll trap the insects and they'll catch them and they'll make it as their food. Why? How food? I mean, how insects are getting attracted to these plants, children? So earlier also we said that because of the nectar, which is like a sugar type sweet nectar. To have that nectar, the insects, they just fall on the leaves, and then these leaves are going to catch, they are going to trap and catch the insects. Okay children, and such plants are called insectivorous plants, and they'll trap and digest the insects as we digest food. Because the insects are their food, they digest the food, that is the insects. When an insect sits on the pitcher of the plant, the lid closes and the insect gets trapped inside the pitcher. See here, it is like a pot type structure, the leaf here. No, it is like a pot type structure. So what happens when the insect is going to sit on this plant, on this pitcher plant here, it has a lid. See, are you able to see the lid, children? Here, these are the lids. Now it is open, and when the insect comes and sit here, the lid is going to close, and the insect, what happens? It's going to stuck inside the leaf of the pitcher plant, and the plant is going to eat it as its food and gets digested. Clear children? So this is what an insectivorous plant is. Okay, clear? Now the another type of plant, what is it? Desert plants. Desert plants. What are desert, children? Like hot areas. No, hot areas. Desert is a place with hot weather, very little water and scanty rainfall. Plants growing in these places are called desert plants. So as we all know, desert is a place with hot weather, and there is very much less water and scanty rainfall, very rare rainfall, very less rainfall. So plants which are growing in these places are called desert plants, as we see in the picture here. So these are desert plants. No? These plants develop certain features that help them to survive the harsh conditions of the desert. So harsh conditions means what, children? Unbearable to, it is unbearable. We can't bear. If it is too much hot and you don't have water, will it be easy for you to survive, children? No. We cannot tolerate such type of conditions. No, intolerable. So harsh is which we cannot bear. The plant here, the desert plants, they are having certain features that help them to survive in these harsh conditions. So because of that features, and what is that main features? That is their stems here, these stems. Because of this, they are able to survive in that harsh conditions. Now as we said, like what happens, the stems are going to store the water, and the water makes them to live in the desert. Like whatever little water they are having, the stems store them within them. Okay, and because of that they are able to live in that hot climate. Okay, so roots are spread out just under the surface of the soil to catch the smallest amount of water. So whatever little water they are having, so roots are going to just catch, like normally roots absorb the water, no, same like that here. Even the roots, they are spread, they are not so much deep inside the soil, they are just spread, they to catch whatever little amount of water they are having, and that water is again absorbed by the stems, and they are going to store, the stems are going to store the water. Okay children, clear? Yes. Now so desert plants, they are able to tolerate the hot conditions of the desert. These plants have leaves in the form of spines or don't have any leaf at all to prevent water loss. See, that's what we said. These plants have leaves in the form of spines. Like as we see in our regular plants, they don't have such type of leaves. If you see children in this diagram, even in our previous diagram also, the leaves are not in normal shape. No, they are in the form of spines. So very sharp spines, see here. No, very sharp spines. See how they are. All these are their leaves in the form of spines. And because of this, what is happening? Water loss is prevented. Water loss. So because they store the water, they are not going to make any loss of water. Clear children? Desert plants store water in its stem. So as I said before, desert plants store water where? In the stem, and this stem carry out photosynthesis. So this stem, as it stores water in itself, so this stem is used for photosynthesis. In this sense, it carries the process of photosynthesis, of making food for the plant. Clear children? Yes. The plants use water stored in their stem when no water is available. For example, cactus, opuntia, babul and kaikar. The plants, what do they do? So they are storing the excess water in its stem. When there is no water in the desert, no rainfall in the desert, their stems are going to use this water for the plant. Okay, to get the energy. Okay children. So for example, cactus, opuntia, babul and kaikar. Okay, so this is about desert plant. Clear children? Yes. Now the next type of plant. Then what we learnt, like like we learnt about non-green plants. No, non-green plants, and again epiphytes, and the other one is insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants. Then the last one is desert plant. No, we learnt about these four now. So non-green plant is, for example, like mushrooms. Epiphytes, for example, like fern. Insectivorous, Venus flytrap. Desert plant, cactus. No, these are the examples. No, and so these, are you clear about this? Yes. Now like we are going to do our revision in the form of question answer. Okay children? Okay, now I'll just erase this now. Yes, the first question is, in cactus photosynthesis occurs in roots, leaves, stems or spines. Cactus, children, what type of plant it is? Cactus is a desert plant, and photosynthesis occurs where roots, leaves, stems and spines. Yes, it occurs in stems. As it stores water, this stem plays an important role in photosynthesis. Okay children? Yes. The second question. Now, able to follow? Yes. Match the following plants in column 1 with their examples in column 2. So here we'll be having a column where we have to match the correct matches. Like the first one, P is conifers, Q insectivorous plant, R is desert plant. How do we match now for coniferous? Example, yes, it is pine. Insectivorous plant, pitcher. Desert plant, cactus. Clear children? So our answer is P3, Q1 and R2. So C option is the correct answer for us. Clear? C is the correct answer. Okay. The next question. Study carefully the diagram given below. Which of the following statements are true? Okay, now we'll see the diagram here. So it's a diagram of mushroom. The diagram of a mushroom, no, here. So now we have to just see what are the options. They are parasites. They grow well in dry places. They are non-green plants, that is fungi. They need sunlight to grow well. Okay, so which plant is this, or which statement is true? What is this children? What statement will be the correct one here? Yes, this is a non-green plant. This is a non-green plant. Yes or no? Fungi, fungus. Fungus also you might have seen on on the roads or somewhere near all the dust is there or garbage is there. You can see some type of fungus. So that is also why, because it is a non-green plant. It will take food because of on the leftovers. All the leftovers will be taken as the food. Okay children? Yes. The next one. The plant given below is a cactus. It is able to survive in harsh conditions like the desert. Which of the following labeled parts represents modified leaves? So here in our picture we are having cactus. So as we learned that it can survive in harsh conditions. Now, which of the following labeled parts represent modified leaves? See here we are having three parts, P, Q and R. R is of roots, Q is of stem, and then P is of some pines, like leaves, pines. Okay. Then which one which is going to, represent the modified leaves, children? As we learned, yes, it is Q. It is Q, that is stem. Clear, children? Yes. The next question now. Which of the following statements about the plant given below is or are true? Spongy and light stems water hyacinth, hairy leaves, feathery and fibrous roots. So, these are fibrous roots. This is hyacinth. Okay, the plant is hyacinth, water hyacinth, and it's having feathery and fibrous roots. So, our answer is what? Both A and C. That is D option. Okay, children? Clear? Yes. Now the next question. Which of the following help a cactus survive in a desert? Which of the following help a cactus survive in a desert? Which does help them to survive in the desert? A option is thin and wide leaves. B, fibrous root system. C, leaves reduced to spines. D, long and branched stems. Yes, we already learnt that cactus leaves have been reduced to spines. No, why? To make them to survive in a desert. Okay, then the correct answer is C. Okay, C option. Clear, children? Yes, the next question. Identify the odd one from the following. Odd one from the following. Okay, the first one is Venus flytrap. B is Eichhornia. C is pitcher plant. D is Dionaea and Drosera. So if you see, children, you are having two type of plants here. One is insectivorous plants, another one is floating aquatic plant. Now you have to find out. So which one is the odd? Venus flytrap, pitcher plant and Dionaea and Drosera, three are insectivorous plants. No, we have learned them. And what is remaining here is Eichhornia. Eichhornia is a floating aquatic plant. So the odd one is what, children, here? Yes, it is Eichhornia. Clear? Yes, this is an example of a floating aquatic plant. Okay, children. Now, the next question. Match the following. Like we are having two columns. Like we have to match them. So first we go with the A. A here is coconut. Then coconut from this column. In which area do coconut grow, children? In the coastal areas. This is A. Okay. Cactus, deserts. Then mango, plains. Then mangroves, children, marshy areas. Okay. So these are the right answers. Now A is 3, B is 1, then C is 4 and D is 2. So our right option is A. Clear, children? Yes. The next question now. Yes, are you able to follow? Select the odd one from the following. So here also we have to select the odd one. Pine, fir, deodar and Venus flytrap. So now you have to see which type of plants are they. Pine, which type of tree, children? Evergreen plant. Fir, same. Deodar also same. Now what is left over? Venus flytrap. No. What is Venus flytrap, children? It is an insectivorous plant. So the odd one here is D. That is Venus flytrap. Clear? Yes. The next question now. The plants X and Y are similar to each other as they both. So here in the picture, you can see X and Y. These are both insectivorous plants only. So here our options are A, grow in soil, that lack both air and water, have tentacles on leaves to trap insects, cannot photosynthesize, need to overcome deficiency of nitrogen. See here, these plants X and Y, as I said, they are both insectivorous. No, now we have to, yes children, so as I said, these are insectivorous plants. No, these type of plants, they grow in soil where nitrogen is less, and to overcome the deficiency of the nitrogen, they are taking insects as their food. Okay children, so our correct answer is D here. They are similar to each other. Why? Because they are both insectivorous plant. Okay, and to overcome the deficiency of nitrogen, they will take insects as food. Clear children? Yes. The next question now. A Venus flytrap plant closes its leaves to trap insects. This shows that the plant is what? Reproducing, respiring, responding to stimulus, moving from one place to another. So, what did we learn children? How is the plant closing the leaves when an insect is sitting on the leaf? Because of the responding feature to stimulus. Okay, C is our answer, correct answer. Okay children, now yes children, so that's all for today. So just revise all that what we have learned. Take care and goodbye. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.